Well, the time has arrived. It's playoff time. So you know what that means? Time for another playoff predictions that will probably end up being incredibly wrong. Let's get into it.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, hello everybody. This is Railroad Racer 49 2005 here. And welcome to another edition of playoff predictions for the NFL. As you can see, I am wearing a Seahawks beanie. They are not in the playoffs, unfortunately. If we would have beaten the Giants, we would have made it. But anyways, I'm very glad they got the win yesterday. So finished the season strong. Next year we'll make the playoffs. Next year we will. We will be here next January. But until then, let's take a look at the 14 teams that made the playoffs that were not as unfortunate as us. So I am just going to go right into it. I know it's been a long time since we've done this, but finally we are back with prediction videos. So enough of this talk. Let's get into the NFL playoff predictions. Let's look at the bracket and then go into our games. And ladies and gentlemen, here is the full playoff bracket for these playoffs. Without further ado, let's start with the wild card round. All right, so here is how we're going to do this. We're going to be starting with the AFC playoff games, and then we'll go to the NFC playoff games. So, first off, we have the 7 seed Denver Broncos going in to face the 2 seed, the Buffalo Bills. The Broncos made the playoffs for the first time in 10 years. The last time they made the playoffs was when they won the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning in Super Bowl 50. So it's been a long time since they've been here, but it looks like they finally found their man, Bo Nix, at quarterback. And it looks like Sean Payton has really figured things out at Denver. The Bills make the playoffs once again, and they are still in search for that first Super Bowl. Will they get it? More on that in the predictions. But anyways, as for this game alone, the Broncos have been good, but the Bills have been better. I think the Bills are definitely the better team here. I mean, I feel like the Broncos will try to put up a fight, but man, Josh Allen and that Bills team have just been playing out of their minds this year. I thought they'd take a step back this season, but actually, it feels like they took more of a step forward, actually. I do think the Bills are going to make another deep playoff run, but as for if they will go all the way, more on that later. But anyways, I do see them winning this game. The Bills will get past the first round and will knock off the Denver Broncos. Moving on to our second of 3 AFC wildcard games, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers as the 6th seed going in to face the 3 seed Baltimore Ravens. This game will be streamed exclusively on Prime Video, the first playoff game to ever be streamed on Prime. As for the teams coming into this game, the Pittsburgh Steelers have had a pretty solid season. Russell Wilson at quarterback, his first season in Pittsburgh, and Russell Wilson, for the first time since he was a Seahawk, made the playoffs. So it's been a minute, but he's back. He did not have the best look at Denver, but he managed to turn things around here at Pittsburgh, surprisingly. As for the Ravens, they have had a really good season, especially picking up running back Derrick Henry from the Titans. Derrick Henry has had an absolute career year at Baltimore. So, needless to say, the Ravens had a really, really good regular season and are the AFC North champions. These two teams have definitely gone at it this year. Both matchups with these two teams were pretty close and did come down to the wire. Now, which one of these two teams do I think is going to advance to the divisional round? in this matchup, I definitely feel more confident in the Ravens. I think the Steelers will give it their best shot, but I don't know. The way how they looked against Cincinnati, I don't know. Maybe they were resting their players. Maybe they were not being as aggressive. But either way, I think the Ravens are the better team here. I know Lamar Jackson hasn't had the best history in the playoffs, but I feel like this is a game he can win. I feel like this is a game I can at least trust him with. So with that said, I'm going to take the Ravens to beat the Steelers. Although there's a chance the Steelers could upset here, I am going to take the Ravens. Ravens, let's hope you don't you don't win this game. Let's hope. What I'm trying to say, let's just hope you don't screw this up. I know I've picked you to win a good amount of games in the past in the playoffs, and you really disappointed me with the AFC Championship, but just win this game and don't screw it up, okay? That's all I'm saying. And that brings us to our last AFC wildcard game. We have the 5 seed Los Angeles Chargers going in to face the 4 seed, the Houston Texans. The Chargers have definitely turned things around this year, especially having Jim Harbaugh as their head coach from Michigan, who won the national championship with them. Although as a Husky fan, I am pretty salty about that. But still, regardless, Harbaugh has really turned this team around. Granted, there have been some bumps in the road, but they still have been really good this season. As for the Texans, they're not as good as I thought they would be. I thought the Texans would be a little more stronger, but they have just kind of disappointed this year. They still made the playoffs, but I don't know if I can trust them the way they've been playing. So with that, you probably know who I'm going to take to win this game. I don't know if I can really take the Texans here. Maybe they can prove me wrong, but I just feel more confident in the Chargers, to be honest. I know the Chargers have had a pretty big history of choking games like this. I mean, look at that game against Jacksonville in the wild card. They were leading that game, and then they absolutely blew it in the second half. Let's just hope that doesn't happen again. Chargers, all you gotta do is win this game. All you gotta do is win this game. Please do not choke. Do not make a complete fool of yourself like you did the last time you made the playoffs, okay? So, yeah, Chargers, just try to redeem yourselves. Just try not to choke this game. Please. And now we move on to the NFC, starting with the 7th seed Green Bay Packers going in to face the 2 seed Philadelphia Eagles. The Packers have had another strong season with Jordan Love as quarterback, though it did get a little rusty at the start. Jordan Love got injured in the first game in Brazil, but Malik Willis definitely did a good job keeping the Packers afloat and getting them a couple wins. And then Jordan Love came back, and they were once again pretty strong. Although they did have some bumps in the road, the Packers still managed to put together a good season. As for the Eagles, it started off a little rusty, it started off a little hard, but they really got things going when they got things figured out. And not to mention picking up Saquon Barkley from the Giants. Oh boy! Saquon Barkley has been having a very good season. He's been doing really well, especially had a backwards hurdle in one of the games in the regular season. I have never seen that before, so that was pretty cool. But anyways, who do I think is going to win this NFC matchup? I mean, the Packers have beaten an NFC East team in the playoffs last time, but I think this time they're going to get eliminated. I think the Eagles are definitely the better team here, though they could very well choke it like the Cowboys did. But anyways, I'm going to take the Eagles on this one. I feel like they're a stronger team. I know there's been some issues with Jalen Hurts, but you know, they got Saquon Barkley. They got some really good players on offense. They have a pretty solid defense. I think overall they are the better team here. So with that, I'm going to take the Eagles to move on to the divisional round. Moving on, we got the 6th seed Washington Commanders going in to face the 3 seed Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Commanders, oh man, they have impressed me this year. This whole season for the Commanders have been really, really good. This is the best season that Washington has had in a very long time. I mean, the last time they made the playoffs was the last time they changed the name in 2020, and that was the year they won the division. They didn't win the division this time, but they still made the playoffs, and I will definitely commend them for doing so. overall was a really good season for them, and for them finding their quarterback, Jaden Daniels, who's been having a really good rookie season. And not to mention, Jaden Daniels had that amazing Hail Mary against the Bears. I will still never, ever forget that. That is an amazing moment that should be just remembered in glory in NFL history. But anyways, I think the Commanders have had a really good season. Tampa Bay, they've had some issues, but still a pretty good season. They did win the division, although it looked like they were going to choke it after how they played against the Saints. But they did manage to get on track late in the game, and the Falcons lost to the Panthers, although that game was absolutely insane. I mean, that was the best game that Bryce Young ever had in his entire career. I will commend him on that. But anyways, who do I think is going to win this NFC matchup? Who do I have more confidence in? I think this is a pretty even matchup, but which team do I think is going to come out on top? You know, I'm just feeling it more with the Commanders. I mean, the Buccaneers could prove me wrong, but they are missing a couple pieces. I mean, I know they got Mike Evans, but they don't have Chris Godwin anymore. Maybe if they still had Chris Godwin, I probably would have picked them, but I don't know. They're just kind of missing some pieces over there. And I know Washington's pretty young, but I don't know. I just feel a little more confident about them. And there's been some issues on the Tampa Bay side of things. I mean, the way how they played, the way how they stumbled out of the gate against the Saints kind of worries me. I don't know if I can trust them. I don't think the Bucs are going to get as far as they did the previous season. They could prove me wrong. Baker Mayfield's a really good quarterback, but I don't know. I'm just feeling it with Jaden Daniels this season. I'm just feeling it with him. I feel like Washington is going to win a playoff game this year. I just feel it. But anyways, I'm going to take the Commanders to win this game. I feel like this is going to be a close game, but in the end, the Commanders will find a way to win it. So I have the Commanders moving on to the divisional rounds. And the last official game we have so far, and the last NFC wildcard game of this round, we have the 5-seed Minnesota Vikings going in to face the 4-seed Los Angeles Rams. The Vikings, oh boy, things did not turn out well on that Sunday night game at all. Sam Darnold was definitely seeing ghosts. But anyways, still a pretty good season for the Vikings overall. I mean, they were better than I thought they were going to be. I mean, after losing their starting quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, I thought with all the things going wrong in the offseason, Minnesota was going to have a really down year. Especially bringing in a guy like Sam Darnold, who really hasn't had a huge shot and really hasn't proven himself to be a great leading quarterback. Oh boy, he proved me wrong this year. Incredible work by Sam Darnold. I will applaud him this season. Just fantastic season all around for Minnesota. A 14-2 record, now a 14-3 record. I mean, I know you didn't go 15-2, but 14-3 is still pretty dang good. Like, that's the best record that Sam Darnold has ever had in his entire career. Like, he has never been this good. I will say, great job for him. But, okay, I'm going to stop talking about the Vikings. Let's talk about the Rams. They had a pretty slow start to the year, but they really picked it up in the middle part and late in the season. And did so well that they managed to hang on and win the NFC West title. And as a Seahawks fan, I am a little salty, but still, good job, LA. And I'm just glad that we beat them last week. I mean, LA, you might have won the NFC West, but we did beat you in the last game. So, yeah. But I'm just glad we beat the Rams at least once this season. But anyway, still a good season for the Rams, I will say. But ultimately, let's just get to who I think is going to win this game. Can the Vikings pull off revenge on the Rams? Because remember, they played the Rams on a Thursday night game. They could have won, but because of a pretty ticky-tacky call, the Rams ended up winning that game. But ultimately, who do I think is going to win this game? I would definitely love to see the Vikings get revenge on the Rams, but after how they played against the Lions, I don't know if I can say that they're going to be as strong. The Vikings looked kind of sluggish against the Lions. Like, I know maybe they were resting a little bit, but I don't know. They just did not look good. And even though the Rams didn't win, I'm glad they didn't, but they still played really hard against us. Like, I feel like the Rams are the better team here. Like, I feel like they're going to win this game. Even if the Vikings have a chance, the refs are probably going to find a way to make the Rams win, so there's also that. So, yeah, ultimately, I'm going to take the Rams to win this game. Maybe the Vikings prove me wrong, but once again, it'll be another year of misfortune for Minnesota, unfortunately, as the Rams move on to the divisional round. So after those 6 wildcard games, this is what the bracket looks like now. Now, let's get into our divisional games, where we have our 2 teams that got a first round bye, and they will face off against the rest of the competitors that were lucky enough to make the divisional round. So, let's get into the divisional round. So here we go with the divisional round. Starting off with the AFC, we have the 5 seed Los Angeles Chargers going in to face the 2 seed Buffalo Bills. The Chargers, I will say, they're doing good right now. The Bills are coming off a good win, but I feel like this is where it ends for the Chargers. I mean, it's pretty clear that Buffalo is the better team here. They've been playing out of their minds this year. They've been really good. So I'm going to take the Bills to win this game. The Chargers will try to put up a fight, but ultimately I think the Bills are the better team in this matchup. So I'm going to take the Bills to win and will advance to the AFC Championship game. And now our second and last AFC divisional game. We have the 3 seed Baltimore Ravens going in to face the 1 seed, the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a rematch of the first game of the regular season. Ravens, Chiefs, Mahomes versus Jackson once again. And if we all know how that game ended, it was a really strong competitive game. But in the end, it all came down to a missed touchdown by a single toe to make the Ravens lose that game. And you know, I really, really want the Ravens to win this game. But if we know the Ravens in those big moments under the lights, especially against the Chiefs, I fear we all know it's about to happen. Look, I want to be wrong. I want to be desperately wrong about this, but I just don't see the Ravens beating the Chiefs here. I just don't see it. Like, there's so many factors. Lamar just does not know how to play in those big moments. And you also have the refs who absolutely love the Chiefs when it comes to these kind of games. There's going to be some stupid call, or Lamar is going to pull a really bad play to cause the Ravens to lose this game, and the Chiefs will ultimately win. So, Chiefs will advance to the AFC Championship for the how many years in a row? I don't even know how many years the Chiefs have been in the AFC Championship in a row at this point. It's honestly just a given that the Chiefs will make the AFC Championship at this point. It's happened every single year as Mahomes is their quarterback, almost every year. But ever since the Patriots-Chiefs AFC Championship, the Chiefs have just always somehow been in the AFC Championship game no matter what. So it's going to happen again. Chiefs are going to the AFC Championship again. Moving on. And that brings us to the NFC divisional playoffs. We have the 4 seed Los Angeles Rams going in to face the 2 seed Philadelphia Eagles. In this scenario, the Rams played a good game against the Vikings, and the Eagles managed to make it past the Green Bay Packers. And now they're coming back for another home playoff game in Philly. And once again, it's going to be about the same outcome. The Rams are definitely going to have a tough time with the Eagles. The Eagles have definitely shown that they can play really, really good against teams like the Rams. And I feel like this game could very well be a beatdown. Although it could be close, in the end, I do think that the Eagles are going to be the ones to come out victorious in this scenario. So I have the Philadelphia Eagles advancing to the NFC Championship game for the first time in about 1 or 2 years. So the Eagles will have another chance at making the Super Bowl. And now we have our last NFL divisional playoff game. We have the 6th seed Washington Commanders going in to face the number 1 seed in the NFC, the Detroit Lions. And man, what a season it has been for the Detroit Lions. Another really good season, the best record they've ever had in franchise history, the 2nd time in a row winning the division championship for the first time in franchise history. They have broken a lot of records last season and this season, and they just continue to get better. And they played very strongly against the Minnesota Vikings. And shout out to Jahmyr Gibbs for getting 4 touchdowns that night. All 4 touchdowns by the Lions were by Jahmyr Gibbs, so shout out to him. Great game by him. But overall, that whole Lions team has been playing really well. I mean, the Commanders did play pretty well this season, but I don't know. The Lions have just been playing better. And now, cue the next transition. You know where this is going with the way I was saying it. The Lions are going to win this game. The Lions are going to win in this scenario. If the Commanders come to Detroit, Detroit is going to win. I mean, I will say the Commanders had a good run, but it's just the Lions. They have something that the Commanders don't right now. So I'm going to take the Lions to advance to their 2nd ever NFC Championship and their 2nd NFC Championship in a row. And that is going to do it for the divisional round. We are now down to 4. Here we are for the conference championship games. 4 teams remain. 2 will advance to the Super Bowl. Let's find out who those 2 are in my eyes. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here we are with the conference championships. The 2 teams that we decide will make the Super Bowl. Starting off with the AFC Championship, we have the 2 seed Buffalo Bills going in to face the 1 seed Kansas City Chiefs. Allen and Mahomes meet once again in the playoffs for, how many years in a row have they met in the playoffs? It's been a long time. I mean, not to mention the amount of times they've played in the playoffs. I will say, despite the outcomes, it has given us some great games. And now, time to see what these 2 can put together in another playoff shootout. This time, a ticket to the Super Bowl is on the line. I believe these 2 teams did show up in the AFC Championship before, but it was not that great. Hopefully this time it's a better game. But anyways, the Bills have been on this road for so long to make the Super Bowl. They've beaten Mahomes before. And as they come into this game, they know what they have to do. The Buffalo Bills got to go in there and beat the Chiefs. And I think that they just might. Psych. Yeah, we all know what's about to happen. We all know what's about to happen. The Bills are going to choke, or the refs are going to pull some stupid call. The Chiefs are going to go back to the Super Bowl. We all know what's going to happen. Just pencil in the Chiefs as going to the Super Bowl. It's going to happen. We all know what's going to happen. Chiefs are going to go to the Super Bowl. Nothing more to say. Let's just get to the NFC Championship. And now, here we are with the NFC Championship. The 2 seed Philadelphia Eagles come in to Ford Field in Detroit to play the 1 seed Detroit Lions. And now, this is what it comes down to. I feel like the Eagles will give it their best effort. But in the end, it is going to happen. I am a Lions believer. And I think that they are going to make the Super Bowl for the first time in franchise history. This is the year that it's going to happen. This is the year that Detroit makes the Super Bowl. This is a dream that will become a reality. Detroit will finally make the Super Bowl. This is the year it will happen. Go out and get them, Detroit. Go out and bite some kneecaps. Moving on to the Super Bowl. It all comes down to this. 2 teams remain. Who will be the Super Bowl champion? Let's get down to who I think will win in this hypothetical Super Bowl matchup. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. After all that predicting, we're just down to 2 teams. This is it. It all comes down to this. In the Superdome in New Orleans, Super Bowl 59. We have the 2 top seeds of each conference. The AFC champions and the back-to-back reigning Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs, looking to win their 3rd straight Super Bowl. And the team that America is rooting for, the 1 seed of the NFC and your NFC champions, the Detroit Lions, who have fought tooth and nail over the years to get to this point. And now here they are. 2 teams. 1 will be champion. So, who do I think is going to be the Super Bowl champion? I said it earlier. I am a Lions believer. The Detroit Lions will win Super Bowl 59. They will knock Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs off their throne. And they will be Super Bowl champions. Detroit, get hyped. This is your year. I can feel it. This is the year you do it. Go out there, Detroit. Win this Super Bowl. We believe in you. As a Seahawks fan, I am pulling for you guys. You are my Super Bowl team. Go out there and make us proud. And Jared Goff will get his first ever ring. Dan Campbell will get his first ever ring. It's time. It is time. After so many years of pain and misery, this is the year Detroit gets their Super Bowl. Every once in a while, that one team that just can't seem to have anything go right win a Super Bowl finally. Remember, the Seahawks did it in 2013. We were a team that had many years of misfortune, got that Super Bowl. This is the year that Detroit pulls that off. This is the year. This is a type of 2013 Seahawks feeling I am feeling with the Lions. I just feel it. I don't think it's going to be like Super Bowl 48 where they absolutely blow out the Chiefs. It is going to be a close game somehow, but the Lions will pull it out in the end. So there you go. The Detroit Lions are my Super Bowl champions for 2024-2025. There you have it. Moving on to the outro. And now here it is, the official result of who I have as the Super Bowl champion. Say what you will about it. Just let me know how you feel about this whole playoff bracket. Is it realistic? Am I out of my mind? Let me know. And ladies and gentlemen, that will do it. Those are my predictions for the wild card games coming up and my prediction for the playoffs overall. Do you agree or disagree with my predictions? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're at it, if you haven't, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. And also, I have a Twitter page. I will never call it X. And I also have a DeviantArt page if you want to go check out the art that I've created. And I also have an Instagram and Facebook account. So if you want to go follow me on there, you can do that as well. But anyways, that's pretty much going to do it. I hope all of you have a great NFL playoff season. And let's just hope that the Chiefs just don't win it again. I mean, honestly, anyone but the Chiefs, really. Anyone but the Chiefs. As much as I want to see the Lions win the Super Bowl, anyone but the Chiefs, okay? I just want to see someone different. I just want to see someone other than the Chiefs, okay? Let's just hope for the best. That's just going to do it. With that said, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video, and I will also see you for my Super Bowl predictions when those are official, when we know which two teams are playing. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. They may not be in the playoffs, but go Hawks. Also, go Lions.